tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans gon' pile up. I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo, smile so much.
You guys, next story up. So, the nurse degree scam. Child, down there in Florida, they've been cutting up, okay? The feds in Florida have charged 25 people for participating in a wire fraud scam that gave them a shortcut into obtaining their nursing licenses and finding a job. More than 7,600 illegal licenses, nursing licenses, nursing degrees were sold from Florida-based nursing schools. So the schools were actually wrapped up in these scams. And like I said, 25 people have been charged and going to jail. The scheme, they say, was quite developed. It provided transcripts and everything. The 25 people that were arrested faced 20 years in jail. And just awful. I actually saw on the news the other day, they said that there were, I think they said 35 nurses here in the Atlanta area that also received their degrees/licenses from this scam and were requested to basically resign from their jobs. They said none of the people have decided to resign. I'm sure it's just a matter of time that the feds will get in touch with their employers and let them know what the case is. Maybe they're giving them a chance to bow out gracefully. They say that the people that did get those degrees and licenses will probably face no time. They're not going to be, put in jail or even charged with any kind of crime, but they are going to definitely lose those jobs and lose the degrees and licenses that were given out. But just awful, you guys, a slap in the face and quite, frankly, kind of scary, right? The fact that the person that you've put, first of all, we know that the nurses are the ones that do most of the work in the hospitals, okay? The doctors, no disrespect to doctors, because everybody has worked hard to get to where they are, but the nurses are the ones that have more contact with the patient. The nurses are the ones that provide the care. And to know that these people just bought their degrees and child was working as a, security guard officer somewhere. I mean, I'm being facetious. But what I'm saying is just the fact that these people didn't really get the training as a nurse, but are working in that capacity, that is crazy. Bitch, I don't want you working on me if you ain't... You was just working at Burger King last week. So now there are certain schools that actually participated in the scam. Let me see. And on top of that, it just erodes public trust, right? And it's a slap in the face to all of the thousands and thousands of nurses out there who really have worked their asses off to get to where they are the right way. Then you got people that's buying their ways in, And then they even had some people that were actually legitimate nurses but wanted to have their RN. So they paid for that. I mean, it was a whole bunch, like I said, very developed, very convoluted scheme that they were getting away with for some time. I mean, 7,600 people. Now, let me tell you the schools that was involved. We had Siena College, Palm Beach School of Nursing, Sacred Heart International Institute. And they said that many from South Florida's Haitian American community purchased the degrees from those schools. They said the students paid a total of $114 million to get the fake degrees between the years of 2016 to 2021. And about 2,400 of the 7,600 students eventually passed their licensing exams. Yeah, just a doozy of a scam. And they got away with it for a long time. But can you imagine the strain that this is going to put already on the nursing field? This is going to be even harder on those people because, even when I was in the hospital for them few days, I heard some of the nurses talking about the fact that, they didn't have as much coverage for the floor as they would have liked. So now we about to take 7,600, potentially 7,600 more people out of that. I don't know what happens with the people that did end up getting their, or end up passing You know, I don't know what happens with those 2,400, but even if we were to take 24 from the 76, it's still 5,200 people that are just out, like that's being removed from that nursing field, and people that I'm sure they really, really need. So, but yeah, child, they had that going. I was just like, what? When I saw in the news, they said the people out here in Atlanta didn't decide to give up their positions. Girl, I guess they was just like, honey, you going to force me out of this position. And I think they said some of them was at Emory. So the 25 people that were in charge of this whole thing, I'm interested in knowing who they are. They haven't put their information out yet, but yeah, I mean, I guess, child, they had that shit all figured out. Which one of y'all out there got one of them fake degrees? Y'all let Rocky know.
To hide my sorrow, faith is shaky and vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long.
Guys, next story up. So it seems that 66-year-old Vera Liddell, okay, she was the former food services director of Harvey School District in Chicago, Illinois, has been arrested because she was caught stealing $1.5 million worth of food. All the ads say chicken wings, even though they say that the majority of the stuff that she was getting was chicken wings. She was getting food, period, from the Gordon Food Services, I believe they said it was. Let me make sure. Yeah, Gordon. So basically, she was in charge of ordering food for the schools. This happened during the pandemic, from July 2020 to February 2022. We know that the kids were not in school at the time. However, the schools were still providing food to children who might not have food at home to eat. You know, some kids actually, sadly enough, only eat, or you know, they're hungry kids. They eat at school. That's when they are supposed to get, you know, a square meal. So they were still providing the food. She was ordering the food, placing hundreds of orders, unauthorized, fraudulent orders with the food, the Gordon Food Service. And then she would take the school cargo van, go pick up the pallets of food, but the food never made it back to the school. They said that she was getting 11,000 cases of chicken wings, and that's a lot of chicken. You can't tell me that Sister Liddell was at the house, even at church, doing a chicken fry for the whole congregation. That sounds like she was providing stock for restaurants or somebody, you know, who otherwise is responsible for feeding a bunch of people. I mean, 11,000 chicken wings, as much as a motherfucker like them some chicken, child. That's a lot of chicken. So, yeah, they noticed that even with the school year being halfway done, that they were over their food budget hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think they said $300,000. And, you know, when everybody got to digging a little deeper, they found out that Sister Vera Liddell, who's the only person responsible for ordering the food, was the one that was stealing the food. So 66-year-old Vera Liddell was arrested. What's crazy to me is when you hear about these stories, how people continue to do things once they get away with it. But that is the mind of a criminal. People will tell you that when they have been committed crimes, when they get away with it one time, just the rush of getting away with it and it just happening for you over and over again, that you get caught in that cycle. So I'm guessing that's what Vera was in. And I was like, y'all was wondering what happened with the chicken wings last year, a couple of years ago. Now you know, honey, Vera Liddell was ordering them all up and putting them somewhere. Okay, somebody need to check into American Deli and why the hell they didn't never have a damn chicken shortage. Even though they did start to charge extra for more for the flats. I think they even got to the point where they said you couldn't just get all flats, even though I'm a drumstick girl myself. It was a good time that didn't last for a long time. So Vera Liddell finds herself being arrested and in trouble. And I'm assuming that if she is convicted, that she also will have to have some sort of restitution to pay these people back. $1.5 million ain't nothing to sneeze at. Somebody need to pay somebody back.
I can't stay down too long. Running from pain.
Story up, you guys, is actually pretty sad. On Sunday, Ricky Smiley got on his social media, on his Instagram, and told, or maybe it was Facebook, and told everyone that his oldest son, Brandon, 32 years old, had just died. That he was on his way to Birmingham, Alabama. You guys know that's where he is from. That's where his family is. And I'm assuming that's where Brandon also still lived. I think Ricky Smiley lives in Texas now. Is that correct? Don't give me the line, you guys. Or is it here? Anyway, he was on his way. He said that he was fine, but, you know, he was asking for prayers for Brandon's mother and, you know, the family members and everybody that was so shocked. I knew that when he said that he was fine, that he probably was still in shock himself, that it hadn't really truly hit him that his son was dead. A couple of days later, he did get back on social media and say that it did hit him and that it's probably the hardest thing that he's ever been through. He was feeling overwhelmed. He was asking for people to stop calling and texting and, you know, because he's still trying to process this whole thing. Well, you know, people definitely have, people are trying to be there for you and don't realize that they're not just the only person that's trying to reach out. So it can be overwhelming. But usually in those instances, you just need to cut your phone off. Okay, just put it on do not disturb. Just don't answer. I mean, I have no problem not answering my phone. I don't even care. You know what? I'll get back to him when I get back to him. But so that's probably what he needs to do as well, so that he can take care of the business that he needs to take care of, but also try to take care of himself and his, you know, his mental place at the time. It's hard, like losing your child. Nobody, you know, we talk about it all the time. People don't expect to bury their children. From what I see anyway, Brandon seemed like he had his head on straight and was, you know, doing good. So I'm sure that that came as a shock. But of course, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. They haven't released how he died. I've heard rumblings like everybody else about drugs, and I'm surely hoping that that's not the case. The sad thing about, even if it is drugs involved, you're starting to hear about people that don't necessarily really do drugs, might have just decided to dabble in something, got a hold of something that was lethal and end up dying. And that could be the case here. If that is indeed, if drugs are even involved, we don't know that drugs are involved. I mean, he could have had a health issue. It could be other things that was going on. But yeah, I think that it's just gotten to the point now where there's so much bad laced drugs out on the street that people are innocent people. Young kids are getting a hold of these tablets and these pills and taking them, and that's the last thing that they're doing. So very, very sad. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm sure, well, you know what, they don't even have to release the cause of death. I think that that's a, you know, people will let that information be released, but I don't think that that's something that they have to do, that, you know, we all need to know. So we may or may not even know what happened there, but none of that is even important because the young man is not here anymore. I didn't really know of Brandon. I've heard Ricky Smiley talking about his son quite a bit, and I do remember seeing his family on his reality show. Remember, he had that reality show. What was it called? Was it something like Keeping It Real with Ricky, or Ricky Real Life with Ricky Smiley? Something like that. I know Real was in there, but it was on TV1 for a few seasons. Remember, he had that show, and I think that the boy was on there. The son was on there. But like I said, I don't really remember much. But I know that Ricky Smiley always talks about all his kids and how much he loves them and how much he's done this and that and for them and all. And so I'm sure it's just a shock to everybody. It's just a call that you never, ever want to get. So my heart did go out to him. And yeah, I just hope that, you know, the family can recover from this. Something tells me that, you know, when something like this happens, you never really recover. You just learn how to get through it. So hopefully that Ricky Smiley is able to do that, and the rest of the family, the mother, and I don't know if he had any children or not, just everybody, you guys. But like I said, he was 32 years old. Rest in peace to Brandon Smiley.
Running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
Next story up, you guys. Congratulations are in order to our girl, Missy Elliott. It seems that she has been nominated, along with some other people I didn't write down, but actually familiar names if I can remember, who were the others? It was a couple. Was it Sheryl Crow? And anyway, Missy Elliott is the person we're talking about today. She has been nominated to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Now, this is not the first time that she's been considered. However, this is the first time that she has officially been nominated, and good for Missy. You guys know Missy is one of my favorite people. Okay. There's not many people that I've told you guys, there's not many people that I would probably like go fangirl for, but I think that if I saw Missy Elliott, like I would like be like, oh my God, you know, not overly, but she would get it out of me. I just really love Missy. Her music was like so instrumental in my life at one time, you guys. I mean, just love Missy Elliott, love her music, love her talent, and just everything. So congratulations to her. She will be the first female hip-hop artist to achieve this honor. Well, she is the first person to achieve the honor. She's also the first female rapper inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. That happened in 2019. Actually, Missy has quite a bit of firsts. Let me put them all out there for you. She was the first to receive the MTV VMA's Video Vanguard Award, female hip hop artist. That happened in 2019, and she sold 40 million records worldwide. She is the best-selling female rapper in Luminate history. What does that mean? I'm reading what I wrote. I'm reading. According to Billboard, she's the best-selling female rapper in Luminate history. I don't know what that means, you guys. She has 4 Grammys. She has 6 solo albums and has had 5 top 10 singles in her career, with her single Work It hitting number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100s in 2003. So Missy Elliott is that girl and has been that girl for as long as she's been on the scene. Like I said, extreme admiration for Missy. What about the post? Did you guys see her post that she posted after she got the nomination? I was like, who is this? Child, I had no idea that was Missy. Like, I kept on looking at her face and I was like, that looks like Missy. But it don't look like Missy, because when is the last time that we've seen that? Missy has worn heels. I'm not saying she wears heels, but she had on cat suits, and she had on like a dressy dress, and she had her hair. She always has her hair done. That's not surprising, but her hair was done like in curls and long. She looked like she could be related to Young Miami. Didn't look like Young Miami, but they look like they could have been cousins, okay? But just to see her, she's not the most ultra feminine. And so to see her in that dress and them heels and the bodysuits, I mean, she's lost a lot of weight. And she looks great. And I was just like, yes, Missy, yes. But I was just so shocked to see her on her Instagram. I was like, who is this walking down the way here? I mean, it kind of looked like Missy, but child, I had to really wrap my brain around this whole new look. I don't know if that's a look that she's about to have, or is that just something that she did just to kind of shock everybody. It definitely did shock me, but it was just because this is an unprecedented time, as she's been nominated for the Hall of Fame. And I think that she will get in there. She deserves to be in there. But yeah, child, I was just like, okay, Missy, I am not mad. I'm not mad at all. Congratulations to her. Hopefully she makes it on in there, you guys. I think she will.
Round too long. I can't stay down too long.
Next story up is another congratulations in order. It seems that Jermaine Jackson's son, Jafar Jackson, he is going to be playing his uncle, Michael Jackson, in the Lionsgate film that is going to start filming this year. Okay. And everybody is excited about that, at least everybody in the Jackson family. This Jackson production, or actually this movie about Michael Jackson, is a Jackson family approved production. You know, we've had other stuff that the family hasn't had anything to do with, but in this case, they are all behind it. They are all in support. I'm assuming that we will get the actual music in the movie. You know how sometimes when they don't have clearance on the music, you know, they do some old piss poor, you know, it just don't be right. They get somebody else that kind of sound like Michael Jackson. It'd just be like, no, if you ain't gonna have him, just don't do it. So They actually will, I'm assuming they probably will be able to have his actual music in the movie. The family, like I said, is excited about this. Prince said that he would not Prince Rogers Nelson. Well, it wouldn't be Prince anyway because he's not alive. But Prince, Michael Jackson's son, Prince, said that he knows that his cousin has been, working his ass off, and he is pretty much the embodiment of Michael Jackson. He knows his insides and outs, and he knows how to act like him, and he knows that he's gonna just really do well in this role. So he's excited for his his cousin, Michael Jackson's nephew, who actually kind of looks like Michael Jackson. They all kind of got like that look, child. So that shouldn't be too much of a stretch, even though, when you play in the younger Michael Jackson, they're gonna have to make some changes there. But good for him. I'm actually excited about this because I was like, with all of the Whitney Houston movies that we didn't have, child, I don't think we've had any Michael Jackson, or maybe a couple, but nothing like what they did with Whitney Houston. Like every time you turned around, it was a Whitney Houston movie. So kind of looking forward to this one. So the movie is going to be directed by Antoine Fuqua. Okay. Haven't heard that name since he was kissing on Nicole Murphy. It's going to be produced by Graham King and written by John Logan. And like I said, they will be starting to film this year. So looking forward to seeing that. How about you?
Pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
You guys, next story up. So remember I told you guys about Neo and Crystal Renee. You guys know they ended up getting a divorce when she found out that he had fathered a outside baby. And it turned out that he actually had gotten the girl pregnant, I think, before they even had gotten remarried, child. And now they say that girl is pregnant again with a second baby. So, I mean, clearly he's planning on creating a future with this girl, but that's neither here nor there. Their divorce has been finalized. It seems that he will be keeping 3 of the 4 homes that they had. He's going to be keeping a Bentley, but he's going to be giving a whole bunch of money to Crystal Renee, just so that it's fair that she gets what she's deserved as well. It looks like he's going to be paying a $1.6 million lump sum because he was able to keep all of the property, or 3 of the 4 homes. I guess this is his way of kind of buying her out of those homes. She gets one of the homes here in Georgia, plus $20,000 in moving expenses. He's also giving her $150,000 so that she can buy a new car, since he's taking the 2022 Bentley Bentayga. I don't even know what that is, child. That's so high out of my my bracket. I think is that the truck? Maybe it's the truck. He's also going to be paying $12,000 a month in child support. Okay, they have 3 kids together, and he's going to cover their school expenses. And then he's also have to pay $5,000 a month in alimony for the next 3 years. So she came out pretty good in all of that. They have joint custody. They agree that neither of the parties will bring any new woman or man around their child. The only way that they can bring any new person around their children is if Neo or Crystal are engaged or married. So none of these strays, and honey, we know that Neo has a proclivity. Neo does like him a woman or 2, child. So she was like, don't be bringing all these bitches around my kids. Okay, you're going to have to be ready to settle down with them. I don't know how that's going to work for him with his, his other 2 kids. I mean, he's going to be a busy man, but he's been able to do it thus far, so I'm sure he'll be fine. But the divorce is finalized. Crystal actually seems very happy. Neo never looked like he was unhappy, so, the things have worked out for them, and we can move on. I'm sure we'll see both of them in a new relationship at some point.
I know, couple things I show, couple things I don't.
And then lastly, you guys, they say that Common, the rapper Common Sense, mama named him Lonnie Corrant Jaman Shuka Rashid Lynn. Baby, that's 6 names. Lonnie Corrant Jaman Shuka Rashid Lynn. That mama was busy, wasn't she? I know that nurse was like, okay, you said what now? Lonnie Corrant Jaman Shuka. It seems that the rapper Common is now dating JHud, Jennifer Holiday. Jennifer Holiday. Can you picture him with Jennifer? I don't see why we can't. Hell, this nigga done dated everybody. But no, not Jennifer Holliday, Jennifer Hudson. Apparently they're working on a movie together, an action thriller. And they play love interest in the movie, and that has parlayed its way into real life, and they are seeing each other, which is going to be interesting. First of all, who is trying to see JHud&Common in an action thriller? I know she's gonna be able to scream though. I'm sure she's gonna get the yelling in that movie. She's gonna do that just fine. But I was just like, what a a whole strange occurrence here to see Jennifer Hudson. I guess she was just like, I mean, I can act. So if I got to act like in the action thriller, then why not? Hell, Michael Ealy ain't the only one around here that can do these things. Yeah, congratulations to the couple. Should give each other a run for the money, because I done heard stories about both of them. Okay, both of them a little bit different. So, maybe they will, so maybe the fact that them two being together, maybe this might be the one for Common, although we ain't holding our breath. Honey, Jennifer Hudson, I hope you know what you're doing, girlfriend, because, honey, he done ran through quite a few women, and ain't none of them seem to have nothing good to say about old Common afterwards. So, you gonna have to let us know how that go. They say they've been secretly dating for a couple of months now. You guys, we just didn't know about it. So, we'll see. We'll see how long. So, let's see. We had Common. Nobody ever talks about when he was with Kerry Washington. They kept that when she was I feel like him and Kerry and Serena, all that was around the same time when he was kind of seeing Serena, but Kerry was kind of around or something. Then, we knew he was with Angela Rye. We know he was Tiffany Haddish, Erykah Badu. He go through them, child. So we'll see what goes on there. But yeah, y'all, can you see the two of them together? They actually would make a good looking couple. I hope it works out for them. What y'all?
I can tell you my problems. I can tell you my sins. I can tell you my problems. I'm uncomfortable in my skin. I'm uncomfortable with my ends. I'm uncomfortable with my friends. I'm uncomfortable with my drinking.
Guys, that's it. Let me get on off of here. Before I go, I need to give a shout out that one of the Roxstars asked me to give her little brother Spike. Hey, Spike, how you doing? It's your birthday, and I'm gonna give you a birthday shout out today. Look like you're going to be 27 years old. She says you're her private chef. I don't know if you really are, or if that's just her being, facetious. But apparently Spike loves the channel, watches me, and I'm happy to tell Spike happy birthday. 27 years old. I was just getting married. She said that he noticed that my hair was different in the Love and Marriage DC video. I'm fixing to change it again, y'all, because this ain't working for me. I'm about to change this shit out. But I appreciate you, Spike. And she says that you're a big fan, and I really do appreciate you. I hate to call people fans. I don't like that. Rock stars. You're a big rock star, and I appreciate you for that. And you can thank your sister for letting me know that just your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Everybody don't get a song. Shit. I'm about to sweat to death in this car, y'all. Let me get off of here, okay? We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you come in.
I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
Until next time, rock stars.